Hi guys, Rahul this side on behalf of Revsportz, and once again welcome back to our FIFA World Cup daily show. And now the FIFA World Cup is now at the business end, from 48 teams to now down to 4 teams. And for the first time, the top four FIFA ranked teams have qualified for the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup. This time there is no such miracle, no upset. All the heavyweight nation actually have qualified for the semi-final of the FIFA World Cup. In this episode, I'm joined by Shamikda, Rohanda, and Shomnath, and we will look forward to the blockbuster semi-finals that are on the cards, and also we'll predict the games as well. First, to start with Shamikda. Shamikda, Argentina versus England. Whenever Argentina faces England, always there is a added layer of history, political baggage. But also, if we see past record, Argentina in 1986, in 1988, both the times Argentina have beaten England. Do you think this time England will be able to take that revenge?
I'm coming to that, Rahul, but before that, some backdrop is necessary. The backstory.
Absolutely.
This rivalry is way beyond football, and it started in 1966. Antonio Reddin, unfortunately, he passed away just a couple of days ago, and God bless his soul. Argentina captain that semi-final against the quarter-final against England, and he was. And that time, it was not. I mean, FIFA didn't have yellow cards and red cards. Now, after
Mhm.
two offenses, Antonio Reddin was asked to leave the pitch, and he stood his ground. And later he said, "I couldn't understand what the referee told me," and that prompted FIFA to bring on that red card and yellow card from the 1970 Mexico World Cup. It was basically after the game, George Cohen was going to exchange shirt from with an Argentina player, Sir Alf Ramsey, stopped him in his
Yes.
tracks and said, "George, you are not going to swap shirts with that animal." On the next day, British newspapers, Guardian, everybody uh, just just branded that Argentina team as
Hmm.
animals. Emerendio, I forgot the name. He spat at, he spat at then FIFA vice president, who was an Englishman, Harry Cavan, and the two teams fought in the tunnel. One of the Argentine players urinated in the tunnel, and then we move on to 1986 and that infamous hand of God goal. And that game was played against the backdrop of the Falklands War.
Yes.
And Maradona, in his autobiography, wrote, and after that, he scored the goal of the century. But Maradona wrote, "I took a lot of pride in the first goal because whatever we said before the game, that it is just football, not war. They killed our boys. I mean, the Argentine soldiers like little birds." This is the exact word he mentioned in his autobiography. That they killed our boys like little birds. So I'm I take a lot of pride to score that goal.
Hmm.
And then you can come to 1998, that uh, Diego Simeone's simulation that resulted in David Beckham's red card and England losing the game in the penalty shootout. Um, David Beckham exacted the revenge in 2002, winning the game, and he scored a penalty. So this game is, see, football. Football is not a sport. Football is way beyond. Football can stop a war. It can initiate a war. A, a, a war between El Salvador and Honduras was stopped. A ceasefire was declared because Pele was playing, because everybody wanted to watch Pele. And only football can do that. No other sport can come within 100 miles of this sport. This is completely different. Now coming to your question, who will win? Um, I think England will have the edge because they have a fantastic manager.
Okay.
Because he can change the game from the bench.
Interesting, and always, Argentina versus England, a mouth-watering rivalry. But Rwanda, as an Argentine fan, you must feel for Lionel Messi. I mean, he is 39, but still, he's carrying the whole Argentina team. Because if you see for England, not only Harry Kane alone contributing, but he has got support from Jude Bellingham as well. Both of them have scored 6 goals each at this World Cup so far. But for Lionel Messi at 39, he's leading the Golden Boot race, and again, the whole Argentina team is very much reliant on Lionel Messi, and also for the first time, Lionel Messi will be up against England team.
Well, absolutely, Rahul, but lot of things to say. Not only this match, as Shomik beautifully explained the entire history behind this clash,
Yes,
Argentina and England. If you have seen the recent video that the Argentine team have launched of their theme song for this World Cup, there's a line called "Por Malvinas, por el Diego, por la última de
yes,
Leo." So it means that for Malvinas, for Diego, for the last time for Lionel Messi. Malvinas, who are the Malvinas? The soldiers who fought in the
yes.
Falkland War. So they mention their history, the culture in and football together as a national pride, and brings
Mm.
up such a beautiful song for the World Cup campaign. So it's not just about the sport. It's not just about the match, about the clash. It's much more. And as Shomik rightly mentioned, and we all remember that Bill Shankly quote that he mentioned about football is much more than life and death. And though he mentioned it in a funny way, but it's such incidents actually make you realize that it is so much more important. So Shomik mentioned about stopping wars and starting wars. In Ivory Coast, Didier Drogba stopped the civil war, and that's also football. So such is the importance of this game. And coming to Lionel Messi and this match, Messi have not played against England, of course, but Messi have performed well against English sides in when it came to Champions League. So yes, the Argentine team have been reliant on Messi for this all these games, but in the last 2 3 games, multiple things have went against the team, but also there are multiple positives that came out, that other players are coming up to the scoring sheets, other players are scoring, and what's more important is that they are not giving up. The not give up mentality, coming back after trailing for 1 goal and 2 goal and winning the match in the dying minutes, it shows that this Argentine team will go all out against this England side. Perhaps England will start as the favorites against Argentina, but it won't be an easy match for either of the sides.
Absolutely, and both the teams have struggled a bit so far in the journey to the semi-final of this FIFA World Cup. Let's see who will go to the final of the World Cup. But Shomnath, coming to France, I mean, obviously I will talk about Spain, but coming to France, do you think France can take the revenge of the Euro semi-final? Because obviously in this World Cup so far, France have been the most complete side. But if you say recent history, Spain have defeated France twice in the last few meetings actually. That was Euro semi-final and also in the UEFA Nations League match as well.
Yes, obviously. Actually, I today I have a very easy job, of supporting France. So yes, it will be an easy job for me. But if any team could compete with this France, I think now in this World Cup, it has to be Spain, obviously. But at first, if we talk about this French team, I think this is a generational team, that's for sure. And leading this generational team is Didier Deschamps. I mean, one of the three very rare kind of human beings in Earth, not in Earth, in history, who have won the World Cup both as a manager and as a player. Obviously, his stint with the French national team is just exceptional. And after this World Cup, he will obviously, give up this role of the French national team coach. But in his career, he has almost coached France in 185 occasions and has managed to win 122 matches. So obviously, it's a brilliant record in World Cup history. Also, France till now, France has played 25 matches. 22 among them they have won, and only they have lost only thrice in I think in three World Cup editions. And obviously, it's again a great feat. And those three World Cup losses came in huge in huge occasions. Obviously, in 2014 they were knocked out by Germany in the quarterfinals. That's one loss. In 2022, the previous edition, they have lost to Tunisia by 1-0, and in the last World Cup's final. They have lost to Argentina in the tiebreakers. But apart from that, this France team has been unstoppable. And obviously, when we talk about football, we talk about Brazil, Argentina, their golden generation, Italian golden generation. But always there is a player, who is from France, and it catches everyone's eye. We talk about Thierry Henry, we talk about Zinedine Zidane, and in this generation, it's obviously Kylian Mbappe. I mean, he's a star boy. That's for sure the best in this generation, by far. And obviously, now our fathers, our grandfathers have witnessed the Brazilian domination, the Italian domination, the Argentine folklore. But I guess in this generation we will witness the French domination, and it has been proved year by year after year. Starting from 2014, they were building the squad. Now 2018 they have won the World Cup. 2022 they were this close to winning the World Cup for the second consecutive time, and in this World Cup also, France are the clear favorites to win the World Cup. So obviously, all these things as that I have said just now, it's a clear testament that obviously France are the favorites against Spain in the semi-final clash.
Also, they'll be looking to make it to their third consecutive final, and that will be a massive feat, not only for France, for Kylian Mbappe as well. But talking about Spain, another side, who have so far dominated this World Cup, and only once they have conceded a goal, and that also against Belgium. In this Spain team, obviously, eyes will be on Lamine Yamal. I mean, on his best day, so far we haven't seen the best version of Lamine Yamal that we have seen during the Euro, but on his best day, he can travel any of the back line in this World Cup. And not only Lamine Yamal, I would expect Nico Williams to start as well, because by now we all know that he is skillful, all okay. But Nico Williams alongside Lamine Yamal, of course, gives different dimension to this Spanish national team. Also in the midfield, in the last game we have seen De La Fuente have surprised everyone, in fielding Fabian Ruiz and benching Pedri. And also just imagine the midfield of the Spain team, that Gavi, a 21-year-old midfielder, who is a regular in Barcelona playing 11, he is yet to make an appearance at this World Cup, in the starting 11. So that shows the squad depth of the Spanish national team as well. But of course, France going to be challenging for this Spain team.
Rahul,
Of course,
Rahul,
Spain.
since you are backing the Spanish side today
Yep.
in this show, Lamine Yamal in a press conference said that we have no one to fear and it is France who should fear us. In a
Wow.
article by Free Press Journal, in the headline is that Lamine
Mhm.
Yamal says France is the one who needs to fear Spain. Do you really think that this Spanish side will defeat France and go into the finals?
No, I think the semi-final of the Euro and this World Cup is very much different, because that time France was the side who were struggling a bit with their attackers, because that time neither Usman Dembele or nor Kylian Mbappe was in the form of their life that they are in this ongoing World Cup. We all know that Kylian Mbappe actually suffered one injury in the first fixture of the Euro, and was struggling with that injury. So that France team and this France team is totally different. So far, this France team have been the dominant force at this World Cup. So obviously, it's going to be challenging for the Spain team. But I think what will boost the confidence of Lamine Yamal and the other player in the Spain team, because they have defeated teams like Portugal and Belgium on their way to the semi-final of the World Cup. So that I think would be a major boost for Spain, and also Mikel Merino, who has been the super sub so far this World Cup. I mean, coming after 85th minute and scoring match winners against Portugal and then against Belgium as well. Because against Belgium, he waited on the sideline, I think, around 2 minutes. But then he came and within just 1 minute scored that winning goal against Belgium. I think it's going to be a mouth-watering clash between these two heavyweight European nations. But coming to Shamikda about England, Shamikda, word on Jude Bellingham. I mean, obviously Harry Kane has scored goal, but this has been the tournament for Jude Bellingham so far?
Rahul, I'm coming to Jude Bellingham. Before that, I respectfully disagree that Messi has been carrying Argentina. It's the other way around. The other players,
Mm.
the other nine outfield players, they have been carrying Lionel Messi. Rodrigo De Paul has been carrying Messi. Alexis McAllister has been carrying Messi. Enzo Fernandez has been carrying Messi. If you look at the stats, yeah, Licha Fernandez has been carrying Messi. If you look at the stats, Messi works 60% of the time. Bulk of the game, he basically works when the ball comes to his feet. But why? Any other player with that work rate would have been dropped. But he is Lionel Messi. And I go back to Jurgen Klopp's comment that as long as you are not Lionel Messi, you will have to defend. If you are Lionel Messi, you can wait for the ball. You can wait for the ball to come to him, come to you, and then you can do whatever you like with the ball. That is because he is just only because he is Lionel Messi. He has been allowed that leeway. Any other player, he would have been dropped. Now Jude Bellingham, I reckon he is England's best midfielder since Gaza. One of my very good friends, Wayne Barton, a Manchester United specialist, and he has written many books on the Busby Babes, Duncan Edwards, Sir Bobby, George Best. He has written many books. He told me that he considers Jude Bellingham the best since Robo, which means Brian Robson. But I would say, because I'm a huge fan of Gaza, I'm a huge fan of Paul Gascoigne, I would say he is England's best midfielder since Gaza. Jude Bellingham came to this World Cup with a question mark because of injuries. He had a checkered season with Real Madrid last term, and then questions were asked about his utility, about his effectiveness, everything. But like a top player, and he is a world class player, and he has let his boots do the talking. He has let his football do the talking, and that's what top players do. Without Jude Bellingham, without Harry Kane, obviously. If you compare between Argentina and England, Argentina have more world class players.
Hmm.
Lionel Messi, I mean, I don't bring him into any conversation because
No.
he's beyond that. Lionel Messi
True.
is Lionel Messi. But one thing you have to, even Lionel Messi cannot win Argentina single handedly, cannot win Argentina the World Cup.
Not at all.
In the history of the World Cup, and starting from 1930, only two players have single handedly won the World Cup for their respective teams. Garincha, 1962. If he had discipline, maybe he would have ended up as a bigger player than Pele. Garincha, he was a genius. With the ball, he was a genius. And Diego Maradona, 1986. Carlos Bilardo was give the ball to Maradona. That is it. Only two players in the history of the World Cup have managed to win the title, win the competition single-handedly for their respective teams. But now, once again, to Jude Bellingham, uh, England are in the semi-finals because of him and Harry Kane. And if you look player to player, Argentina
Hmm.
have more world-class players. You start with Licha Martinez, then move to Enzo Fernandez. You go to Rodrigo De Paul. You go to Alexis McAllister. Even Julian Alvarez. Even Julian Alvarez. He is a
Hmm.
super striker. England have just two world-class players. But what England have is a fantastic coach. And at the end of the day, football is a manager's game. You saw the way he changed the game against Norway by with his substitutions, Morgan Rogers, by bringing on Morgan Rogers and Diet Spence. And Diet Spence, during that period when Norway took control, it was Diet Spence's intensity and energy that changed the game. So Tuchel can do that. And that is England's biggest hope. England's biggest hope in that game is not Jude Bellingham or Harry Kane. Their biggest hope is Thomas Tuchel.
Okay, okay. Rohan, the Argentina wearing their lucky navy blue T-shirt this time against England. Wearing the same color they have defeated England in 1986 and 1998 as well. Do you think this time they can repeat the history? And but also, do you believe, because the way Argentina have actually struggled in the knockout so far, they have conceded 5 goals in the knockout. That really raised question about Argentina's backline.
Of course, and since you mentioned about the jersey, a very funny incident about the jersey. They were not supposed to wear that on that day, and the
Yes.
previous the jersey was not available. For it was, I think it did not dry up after it was
Hmm.
washed after the previous game. So the team
Yes.
manager had to bring a separate pair of jerseys, and the fonts were, I think, rugby team fonts, the numbers that were used. So that's a funny story. But yes, they have requested for the away jerseys, that they will be using the away jersey in that match. And these are superstitions that teams believe. Me, as an Argentina fan, I do not buy the Argentina jersey since 2014 World Cup, because I have the 2006 jersey, I have the 2010 jersey, I have the 2014 jersey. After that, I don't buy the jersey because it's my superstition that if I buy, the team might lose. So these are superstitions that teams believe. These are superstitions that come hand in hand with sports. But when it comes to the team, Shomita rightly mentioned that the workload that the other players of the Argentina team, apart from Lionel Messi, who have taken, have contributed a lot to Messi's goals, and the especially the contributions that Messi have made are all dependent on the workload that the others have taken. And that's where the brilliance of Lionel Scaloni as a coach is. He knows he have someone like Lionel Messi who can do wonders if given a space, if given a moment of a bit inch of space, a moment of brilliance. It's all what Messi needs, and Lionel Scaloni cannot afford to lose that. But also he knows the limitations, that Messi is not the Messi of 2020, 2020 or 2022 maybe. So he cannot run and take that workload. So he has designed that entire team likewise, that the entire other players will take the load and Messi will do the finishing job, and the team will score. The defense have not performed in the last two games, but the other players have came up. And
Mm.
the biggest positive from the Switzerland match is that Messi was not on the score sheet, and yet Argentina have scored 3 goals. So I think that's the positive that Lionel Scaloni and his boys will take into this England game. It won't be an easy task for either of the team. Both the teams have world class players, and for Argentina, Lautaro Martinez, Julian Alvarez being on the score sheet, Lisandro Martinez getting those last moment clearances done. Of course, the defense have not performed to its full potential, but Romero with moments of brilliance against Egypt, Lisandro Martinez against Switzerland, all those moments will be positive that entire team will take into this match. And I think it will be a 50-50 clash, and any team can go into
Rohan,
the final.
Rohan, as an Argentina fan, you have to be grateful to the to Messi's teammates. They could have
Of
easily
course,
said, "Get lost."
of,
Why?
of course,
Why shall we walk the extra mile for you? We have seen in
Absolutely.
Portugal, the players refuse to play for Ronaldo. That get
absolutely,
lost, get lost.
absolutely.
We will not do it. You are
And
here.
that is what the brilliance of a coach like Lionel Scaloni is, and not Roberto
Oh,
Martinez.
exactly.
He has managed to get the team. He has managed to get the team perform like that. That you have someone like Lionel Messi who can give you moments of brilliance and win you matches, but you have to take the extra load for him to get to that moment, because he is not the Messi of 10 years back. So
Absolutely.
I think that's the job of a team, of a man manager, is at which Roberto Martinez failed with the Belgium side, failed with the Portugal side, and Lionel Scaloni did with the Argentina side, and that's why they are the defending champions, and perhaps they will go to the final once again.
Okay, let's see whether Argentina can do it or not. But obviously, Messi, that's why he is different from the other. Always, he is two steps advanced compared to the other players on the pitch. But coming to again Spain versus France, Shomna, the word on Mikel Olise, the way he have been quietly making difference for this French team in every game so far at this World Cup. Of course, Kylian Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele are making the headlines, after every game. But your thoughts on the contribution of Mikel Olise so far?
Obviously, I would just mention one funny Instagram post I saw today. There was a troll post that Mikel Olise is one of the most expensive players in the world right now. Real Madrid are trying to actually sign him. There was just a troll post that what is Mikel Olise actually doing? 0 goals in this World Cup, and he is just a hype man, and so who all rate Mikel Olise? And there was a comment, the most liked comment, the ones who watches all the games. So it completely sums up Mikel Olise's performance that scoring goals is not the only solution, to win matches. Obviously, the kind of creativity he brings to this French midfield, it's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it's always a pleasure to look at a player who is technically gifted, and obviously he's a left footer. We all enjoy Lionel Messi and Mikel Olise. I would say he's another player who is a treat for the eyes. And obviously, apart from Mikel Olise, he is a creative masterpiece. But apart from him, Kylian Mbappe, Usman Dembele, they are all capable, to provide assists and all. They can score goals, they can create chances, they can create assists. I mean, this is the most, threatening attack, I think, in this so in the French history, to be honest, because players like Ryan Cherky, players like Barcola, players like Desiree, they are not getting, the 100% chance of starting in this French team. I mean, this actually sum up the quality. And in the French media, there is a interesting saying about this French attack. They call this attack bazooka. I mean, there are so many options, and when bazooka hits, it's a missile. When it hits, it's absolutely, decimates everything in front of it. So obviously, the French attack is somewhat like it. Ousmane Dembele, Kylian Mbappe, Desire Doué, Mikel Olise from the bench. There is Ryan Cherky who is not getting enough game time. This French attack is very, very dangerous, and obviously it will be a uphill task for Kubarsi and Laporte, to deal with this attack. Obviously, Spain have a very good defense. Still, they have conceded a goal against Belgium, but yet they have a very good defense. But it will be very, very difficult for Spain to actually stop this attack. Obviously, France will I think, fire from the first minute, but it all depends on Spain how they retaliate to this French attack.
Absolutely, the
Rahul,
match will be defined. Yes,
Rahul,
Abhika.
before you sign off, I would like to see how bazooka gets the better of
No,
Pythagoras.
I was coming to that prediction part. Actually, I was coming to that prediction part.
No, no,
But before that,
okay,
I would just like to
yeah,
add
yeah.
few
Please,
words,
please go
on
ahead.
Spain,
Please
only
go ahead.
because I think the match will be defined by how Spanish defense tackle the attacking quartet of France. Because so far France have scored the most number of goals at this World Cup so far, and the least number of goals been considered by this Spanish defense. And credit goes to 19-year-old Pau Cubarsí, who have shouldered the responsibility of Spanish backline alongside Laporte so far. Spain, this will be their second World Cup semi-final appearance. Last time they did in 2010, and we all know they emerged as the champions. They became the world champion, and this time also remains to be seen whether they can repeat the history or not. But this time, the play style, the football philosophy of Spain is very much different compared to the 2010 World Cup. That time they used to play tiki-taka football. Now, not that much similar. Of course, they play, positional football. They would like to retain ball position, but now they have improved the attacking transition. The attacking transition is very fast compared to other teams, and especially wingers like Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams are creating difference for them. And of course, eyes will be on Mikel Merino. Once again, you know, De La Fuente will rest his hopes on Mikel Merino. Maybe he can again create a difference in the dying minutes of the game. Final few minutes, prediction time for both the semi-final. First, I will start with Shomikda. Shomikda, do you think it will be between two European heavyweight nation, England, Spain, or it will be repeat of Qatar World Cup final?
Um, I'm doing it in reverse. Rahul, Spain versus France, and Shomnath said bazooka. I would like to see if bazooka can get the better of Pythagoras,
Let's
because
see.
what Spain do on the pitch is Pythagoras in boats. You will
Yes,
see just geometric patterns on the pitch. It is
absolutely.
not. I mean, on the face of it, it is not very fanciful. It is not very attractive. But what you will see the just geometric patterns on the pitch, and it is very very difficult to break those geometric patterns. I back Spain to go to the final, and England versus Argentina. I believe eventually Argentina's luck will run out, and England will play the final. Uh, After 60 years, maybe it's coming home.
Let's see whether they can finally break the cars or not. Rohanda, your prediction?
I'm waiting for the final, the semi-final between Argentina and England to see which jersey I'll buy before I fly off to England
Okay.
for the Commonwealth Games. If uh, Argentina wins, I'll buy the England jersey because there won't be a
Okay.
problem of stars of a new
Yes.
star, new logo with an added star. So I'll have the England jersey and fly off to England for the CWG. And uh, if England wins, then I'll buy the Argentina jersey and have it with me to my journey. But coming to the predictions, it's very difficult to predict the match between Argentina and England. I'll prefer Argentina in any day. But for France and Spain, again think it will be France and a repeat of Qatar World Cup. But I really want Spain to win this World Cup this time because that will be a exchange of baton from Lionel Messi to Lamine Yamal for the next generation to come.
Shomnath, do you agree?
Uh, Obviously, I think in the first semi-final, France will have an edge. As I mentioned earlier, this generation we are living the French domination era, and I think this domination will continue under Didier Deschamps, and France will once again play the final, their third consecutive World Cup final, and obviously the Argentina and England game. I think England will just get past Argentina, obviously, and the main factor will be, I think, England's wingers, and we have seen the kind of spaces the side backs of Argentina are creating in the field. They are not able to track back because of the age as is catching them up, obviously. But yes, I think England will get past Argentina, and we will see a repeat of Battle of Waterloo, I think, in the World Cup final.
Okay, interesting. Let's see whether we can get our prediction right. But of course, we just can't wait for these two blockbuster semi-finals. Just few hours to go for the first semi-final. Just can't wait for it. And let's wait and see which are the two teams who secure their place in the FIFA World Cup final. What's your prediction? Let us know in the comment section below. And also stay tuned to Revsportz for more such content and stories from the FIFA World Cup. Thanks for watching. See you in our next show.